note that we do have the open meeting laws posted in there. Anybody is free to look and read them, and the law and how it's worded for the state. And I will go ahead and I will take a roll call. Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yep.
And yes, I'm present. I would like to, Angie was still in the meeting and just called me, and I'd like to make a motion to excuse Angie from the meeting.
Second.
Okay. Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll excuse Angie. And then I also like to make a motion to excuse Tammy until she probably comes into the meeting here.
Second.
Get all those done? Jeremy? Okay, we don't have to. She's here. I thought maybe, but in case she didn't. Okay,
Oh, no.
well, didn't vote, so. Okay. Then I think, Ben, we're down to you.
Yeah, I'm up
Roll call.
first. I received a letter from Mr. and Mrs. Laughinghouse's attorney stating that they are objecting to open meetings law violations that they think that we have had here at our meetings and have threatened another lawsuit. I spoke with Last Chaffin from the League of Municipalities, who then passed me on to Leslie Donnelly from the Attorney General's office and discussed what's been going on here. And we've had no violations. And she, I spoke with her for quite a while, and she thought it might be a good idea to pass a resolution that essentially just calls for civility and good manners at these meetings, because obviously that hasn't been working. And for my part, I feel like I've tried to be reasonable since I came on in December. But we just can't continue to listen to these threats of litigation. So I sent a letter to Mr. Garrison today, essentially saying, here are our responses to your claims, and go ahead and sue us, please. I mean, essentially, we can't keep getting bogged down in these same things. On Saturday, when Mr. and Mrs. Laughinghouse showed up with Ms. Brown to make copies, they refused to sign in on a timesheet and called the sheriff's department. And then Mr. Laughinghouse and Ms. Brown filed incident reports. Well, they didn't actually file them, they just sent a typed copy that I was given by Shane Day today. So that's where we're at on that. I know this is hard. I know you guys are having trouble dealing with this, but we've got some other people on board now. So I think through Ms. Donnelly and Last Chaffin, I think that might help smooth things out a little bit. And so what we'll do is I've prepared a resolution, which is there, and you can read it for yourself. It essentially just says, you know, don't interrupt, that sort of thing. And then the ordinance is just the new ordinance to change the meeting time to 7 o'clock. That's really all I've got. I think I did the letter on the letterhead that you guys asked me to do.
On the lagoon project.
On the lagoon project.
Yes, I have those.
And I think that's all we're waiting on, right?
Yeah, we're waiting on the bond company to
Yeah.
finish things up, and they said it would take
And then
no less than a month, so.
And then for the time being, I've taken public comments off of the agenda. And I'll continue to do that until this thing levels out. And I cleared that with the Attorney General's office too. As we talked about, I think in one of my first meetings, the statute that covers that is 84-1412 sub 2, which says a body may not be required to allow citizens to speak at each meeting, but it may not forbid public participation at all meetings. Well, we've had public participation at every meeting this year so far, so we're fine. I would like to bring it back because I think it's positive and healthy, but But I just can't, I'm certainly not gonna be bullied. I'm not gonna deal with these letters anymore. So I think let's just bring it to a head. If somebody wants to sue us, go ahead. I'm not gonna get pushed around on this. I tried to be nice. I'm sick of dealing with it. So, the resolution, the ordinance are yours, to pass if you want. I just prepared them, it's up to you guys.
Well, in changing our time from 8 o'clock to 7, we will need to go ahead and pass this ordinance. I would recommend we pass it to extend the 3 readings, because we will be meeting again next month at the same time.
We can pass it without the readings.
Well, we don't, that's what I mean, whatever that wording
We do,
is.
somebody needs to introduce the ordinance
Without.
and move that the statutory rule requiring the reading on 3 different days be suspended.
Okay, I was looking for the right word.
Yeah.
So if somebody would want to introduce that, you need a copy, Jeremy, or you're good?
I handed it to her. Do you want me to read it for everybody, or they all got a copy, didn't they?
Well, yes.
It's
I'll-
ordinance
I will if you
151.
want to read it.
Oh, you want me to read it out to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
It's 151. Ordinance 151, an ordinance of the Village of Alexandria, Nebraska, setting the date and time of regular monthly board meeting, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for the effective date hereof. Be it ordained by the chairman and board of trustees of the Village of Alexandria, Nebraska as follows. Section 33.041 of the Alexandria Municipal Code shall from and after the effective date of this ordinance provide as follows. Meetings, regular meeting. The meetings of the village board shall be held in the village library. Regular meetings shall be held on the second Wednesday of each month at the hour of 7 p.m. A majority of all members elected to the village board shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of any business, but a fewer number may adjourn from time to time and compel the audience of the absent members. Unless a greater vote is required by law, an affirmative vote of at least 1/2 of the elected members shall be required for the transaction of any business. Section 33.041 of the current Alexandria Municipal Code and all other ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. This ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication in accordance with Nebraska law. And then passed and approved this 10th day of June 2015, Village of Alexandria.
Yeah, we will need to pass this if we're going to continue.
And I'll move that we pass this ordinance and what was the
No,
word?
you
There you
need
go.
to suspend.
Oh.
Thank you. And move that the statutory rule requiring reading on 3 different days be suspended.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Tammy,
Yes?
Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Yes, passed with 4.
Keep it.
Thank you.
And so it is.
I'll send you,
I will be.
I'll use the nice
Passed,
laminated one.
And we'll get that to you, and Angie is excused.
No, there needs to be another motion now.
This
Okay.
is just for suspending it.
Okay,
Yeah, that was
so That's the motion, okay, thanks, Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then-
now to
Final pass.
pass it, this is
Okay.
the one to pass it, yes.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Or do I need to, do we need a
You can do
motion?
it, motion for final pass.
Okay.
I'll do,
I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 151.
Second.
okay, motion's made second. Tammy?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Yes, with one absent.
3 readings.
Now, we have a resolution here. This is pertaining to conduct at a meeting, and I think we'll have a chance to look it over. Tammy, do you need a little bit of time to look at it? Okay. I think we probably will need to read this in full text. Do they have copies?
They all have copies.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, if you.
Okay. Be resolved by the chairperson and board of trustees of the Village of Alexandria, Nebraska, pursuant to the provision of sections 84, 14, 12, sub 2 of the revised statutes of the state of Nebraska, The village board has determined that it's in the best interest of the village to establish rules of conduct at all village board meetings according to the following terms. 1, all attempts shall be made to start every meeting on time and finish in a timely manner. 2, all attempts shall be made to conduct meetings in an efficient and orderly manner. 3, board members and members of the public will at all times act respectfully and civilly during meetings. 4, board members and members of the public will refrain from interrupting meetings. 5, except during times of public comment specifically listed on the agenda, members of the public shall not speak at meetings unless addressed directly by the Board of Trustees. 6, during periods of public comment, speakers will not be allowed to A, campaign for public office, B, promote private business ventures, C, use profanity or vulgar language or gestures, D, use language which insults or demeans any person or which, when directed at a public official or employee, is not related to his or her official duties, E, make non-germane or frivolous statements, F, interrupt other speakers or engage in behavior that disrupts the meeting, including but not limited to applause, cheers, jeers, etc. G, engage in behavior that intimidates others. Or H, address the board on issues that do not concern the services, policies, or affairs of the village.
Okay. Ben has read, and everybody has a copy of this resolution. So, I think we need to pass this resolution, but that's up to the board.
Do we have to read this 3 times? Or
No, this is just a resolution.
I'll move we pass this resolution.
And I'll go ahead and second, pass this resolution on
Do we have a number on it?
conduct of the meeting.
I can get you one, if you want one on it.
That was the ordinance.
That's the ordinance, 151.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, 151 is ordinance.
Yeah, I think we need a number on it. Am I doing housing inspector?
Yeah, I would, yes.
Or wait, are we doing that one?
Well, it's on the agenda, yes.
It is
And
on
did
the
you
agenda.
find the ordinance that your father had written for us?
I do not have I don't have.
I'll look it up.
But I have,
Okay.
Because I just haven't had time.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's just put it on next
We'll
month.
we'll bring it on to next month's.
I looked at Hebron, Batchelor, Ruskin, and Carlton, which we've done all those, so
So
I imagine it's
basically
the
the
same.
same.
We can essentially appoint whoever we want, and then if someone opposes it, then they could hire an expert to refute it. But I mean, it's
Well-
but we'll put it on the next month's agenda, and we'll have
2015-3.
2015-3 on the resolution.
What was the number, Donna?
2015-3.
And then Lagoon Project, I did my part, so I think that's it for me.
Okay. The housing inspector will, Donna, you have that, we'll bring, find our information, do that next one. Lagoon project. Ben, have you, been
I've done it.
assigning it and
I've
everything?
done that. I think we're
Okay,
just
all right,
waiting. Yeah.
right,
Was there
okay.
anything else on that one?
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, I
as
think
far as
we're good.
know.
I think, yeah, they just needed the,
Go
the
to
letter.
that letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all done, and you submitted that?
No, I'll give it to him at our
Okay, but you've
closing.
got it.
I have,
Okay.
yes, I
Yeah,
do.
at the meeting she has to
Yeah.
meet, but, okay, then let's go on ahead and meet, or, go to, street and ditch drainage, and I have been making some, observations. I've been out, and we've had a good opportunity to check drainage, and I have been in contact with the Little Blue NRD about some things, and Scott Effenbeck, he has us on the list. I will get him back over here to look at some other drainage issues that I have discovered in the last 10 days that we need to work on. And if you guys have observed some, let us know before Scott comes over so we can address them. And one thing I did, we've had a problem down south here, straight down Main Street here, and Ben did look at that, and because of the railroad and all the things they have there,
Not this bad.
well,
You said Ben looked at it.
Oh, Scott looked at it, sorry.
Yeah.
Scott.
I can look at it all you want.
I
I'm
know.
not doing it.
Do you know anything about it?
No, I don't.
But anyway, Scott looked at it, sorry. I was thinking about you, looking right at you. And as we talked about this, we looked at the drainage that was there, we looked at the culvert was there, and there was some general thoughts. We kind of kicked that up if we could change the course of the drainage, which meant I had to talk to Little Blue NRD, and Marlene came over and we looked at it, and if it plays in with everything, our water lines and everything, we will be able to move it. It isn't going to be a big move, but it's going to get us out of a major problem there. I did find out that she sent an application from the last project we did, said we did not spend all of your dollars the last time, and maybe the board will approve more. So there's a possibility we can get some funding when the Little Blue NRD board meets. And health-wise, I think there's other things we kind of need to do. You talked about, you looked at some bridges and stuff, but I do think, guys, a couple of us together at the time, we need to go check our 2 bridges here in town. I just thought about that when I noticed that the Y Bridge was having some encroachment on in out here, that maybe we better check ours too. I did notify the county, there's a washout on the Lakes Road, and they know about it. So, and at this point, I think I talked to Donna about this. I'm going to kick this up to you guys, and I would have to check with the league. What about seeing if we could hire some kids that would fall in the age group to help get some of these leaves and things out of these ditches that are plugging up drains, and they're probably hatching mosquitoes and stuff. You have any problem with advertising and checking with the league about the age? They wouldn't be running tractors, they would be doing some physical labor with rakes and just getting them out of there.
There's
Yeah.
an article in the municipality.
Yeah, I noticed
Did you
that,
see it?
the
It's all
age.
about the age
Yes.
this month.
Yeah, and I thought I'd have to talk to them again. They'd be running, it won't be on ladders, it won't be running any power tools, they'd be mostly raking and getting it on the pickup to get it out of the ditches so they can drain. I was out, not this rain, the rain before, trying to get some stuff that was plugging a main drainage thing, and was wading in it, and it was kind of a mess, and it was a little difficult for me to do it. And so we need to point that out more, and it was totally blocking one drainage thing. So you guys have any problem that we would advertise a little bit?
I don't.
Pay them
maybe-
probably minimum wage?
Or maybe check in with the county attorney on some of the, juveniles that have to do community
But if
service.
we, yeah, I thought about that too, if there would be some.
There are a lot.
Are there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do know, I'm gonna just tell you, one of our teachers up at Meridian requires that the seniors do so many hours of community service, but we're past that, and we need it now. We don't need it next spring. So,
And realistically, because it's seasonal work, you don't actually have to pay a minimum wage.
we don't have to, well,
I'll find out what we do.
find out for us, and if it's all right, do we need to take a vote on that to do that?
No, which is iron. Yeah,
Okay,
that's-
we'll just hang a notice. Okay. Here's a sand volleyball courts. Would it be all right to clean them out and have sand brought back in and put in them? And make them usable
Where is
again?
the sand
There are
volleyball?
2 of them. There's 2 of them at the community center. Everything is there
Never
for
seen
them. Okay. What about
It's a sort of team.
what about putting up a basketball goal over there, guys? Any problem? I know kids, I have games at my house all the time. The kids aren't necessarily from here, they're from other communities. There'd be 5, 6, 10 of them out there.
Are goals gone from down here?
Yeah, they were all volunteer goals. I mean, people just donated them. Well, I thought maybe over there might be half work
Kids won't
just
go
to,
down there. My kids won't go down
they just don't like it. They call it Snake Park.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, all right, then I will do it. Okay, just want to pass that. Okay, we have a quote for the air conditioner.
Is this going in the gymnasium for
well and truly. Yeah, the window air conditioner that is in there, the community club purchased. And we have a newer furnace in there, I'm not sure how old, but since the window unit was fairly new, we had to put in a furnace that would accept an air conditioner, knowing someday it may not last.
And how long do they warranty that?
You know,
I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure. Most of them usually come with 90 days or a year. We could talk to Dwayne about it. See. He put the air conditioner in here for us and furnace.
How many, like, so right now it's a window air?
Yeah, it's
Right now,
doesn't
it's
work.
nothing.
There's nothing.
What's
It's
the
dead.
estimate for? For
A
Central air.
Central air for
How
that.
much is
yeah.
it?
3 ton, 3,000
even?
install.
That would be Dakin Hardware doing Market. Yeah, we got to pull that window out of there sometime.
So is there already,
We have nothing.
so this would be all of the,
No,
The bunch
there
that
is
work
ductwork
is there?
there.
Yeah, it's all there, that's
Now,
all.
this is just the air conditioner unit itself and hooking it in.
Yeah. When we had the unit put in here 4 years ago, we wanted it put in so if we had to down the road, we could put a central on it. And so we really didn't have any air conditioning late last summer in it either.
do we have a lot of events planned for the summer here?
Well, I haven't rented next week. I could have possibly had a rental this week, but because of the heat, they're not sure. You guys, it was rented for graduation. They had it for dedication of their fence, so the alumni was there. So there's been about 6 stuff in here in the last 6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
I move we accept the quote on the air conditioning.
Mhm.
Have you seen it yet?
No,
I
haven't
have.
either.
No, I haven't seen it.
Dwayne does good work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll be done right. Second that.
No, there's,
I'll say second.
he made a motion. Motion's been made and seconded. Go ahead and skip it. Dakin Hardware for $3,000 to install it. 3 ton 14, I don't know what all that means, but it's,
3 ton.
3 ton, but what is that, 14, sure, I'm not sure. It's an air conditioner and boiler and cool. And that does not include what wiring it would take to do that, what a licensed electrician, which is, that's all there, the box is correct, it's just a matter of getting there. It's been updated, and which it was, that's something that was all donated, that wiring thing there. Tammy?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried and passed to put the air conditioner in. Okay. Rick Lackinghouse Mrs. Judy just asked me if she wanted that withdrawn on the agenda. So, mosquitoes, Lynn Brown.
That little sample right there,
Yeah.
all I did was walk out to my ditch and take a quick
Yeah.
scoop. There were thousands upon thousands in that ditch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've repeatedly told you guys, it gets water standing in it every time it rains. That was day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We need to spray the town.
Do you have some surface water standing there right now in it?
Not now, it dried up with yesterday's heat and today's heat, but I have mud and the mosquito larvae
Mhm.
still nest in the mud.
So one of the things that I do know is we're not the only town that, you know, has a lot of mosquito issues right now due to the flooding. I did do a little bit of research on mosquito control. I know the extension office right now, the EPA typically they would do the testing in the CDC for West Nile. They don't have grants right now for the funding of the spring. They do that typically more in the fall. I do know that as a town, we would need to look at getting a vector provider and seeing about finding somebody who's licensed to
Be licensed, yes.
to treat the town. So,
I can tell you what we've been doing, what happened in Deschler. So in Deschler, they used to always spray, and 3 years ago, the mayor stopped it because she thought it was killing the birds. And so they haven't done it for 3 years, but at the last meeting, it got pretty heated. And the problem is, I don't think you guys have the equipment. Deschler still had all the equipment, but they didn't have anybody licensed to do it. So what they did was they got the guy that sprays Hebron agreed to come over, and then I think they're just paying him to do it. But I think there's a outside of the spraying, and that might be what you were talking about, the extension office. Won't they give you things to
they
Uh,
will.
put
yes,
in the
I-
standing water?
I was stopped yesterday at the emergency management, and they're in the other vehicle. Jim took it, and I didn't transfer them over. I have tablets for dropping in the water. It tells how many, how much. I do have some wipes. Every town had kind of their allotment, so there wasn't a tremendous amount. They said most of them went to Fairbury, Beatrice, and DeWitt, and they're all in the same, we're all in the same health area.
Public Health Solutions. did
Mhm.
That's
that.
what it is.
Yeah.
And they sent some out last year, and I had them back here,
Mhm.
and
It's like,
they're
yeah,
gone.
So Deschler's now spraying, Hebron's spraying.
Mm-hmm.
Carlton, I don't think is.
Well,
And are they
Bill
now?
did tell me they did spray. I don't know who they got to.
Because I was there a week ago and it was like a fog in downtown Carlton. It was-
But the biggest thing is getting to come over. When we had money one time, when the West Nile, we had money to spray, and we couldn't find anybody to spray. So they allowed us at that time, but they had given us some money. We bought off and stuff like that, but there's no money right now.
Yeah.
Bill said there is no danger of West Nile. These aren't the mosquitoes that are gonna produce the West Nile.
There's no way to know that. They've just had a confirmed case today of West Nile in Kansas. So it is out there. There's no way of knowing without testing these mosquitoes whether or not they're carrying West Nile.
Well,
You don't know where this larvae has come from because of all the water that has come through.
well, then I can only go by what emergency management told me yesterday, and that's what they
I'm allergic
told
to
me.
mosquito bites.
Yeah.
I drown myself in off when I go
Yeah,
outside.
they bother me too.
They don't bother me. I swell up like the Goodyear blimp.
But I do have literature that he has, that he gave me. One thing, like people in their own homes, get those gutters cleaned out. He said it was just full, and this is why I think these leaves are gonna be full of these larvae too.
What would it cost to have somebody come and spray? What does it cost in Deschler?
I don't know what they're paying because it's their equipment, so they're just essentially using his license, and then they have, one of the Deschler employees is trying to take the class as quickly as possible. I can find out if
I'm
you
not
want.
against having
No.
Hebron or somebody come do it.
Yeah,
But like
But
what
we're
it
gonna have
costs.
to give them.
Do they
Yeah,
fog
if-
or do they spray?
it's a fog. It's
Okay, because they
a
say you
pickup
should
truck
fog.
pulls his fogger, and they've
Okay.
gone by my
She was
house.
rolling around Hebron the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sprays out.
They go at like last night they went by my house about 9 o'clock at
Pretty
night,
late at night, don't they?
and they go.
Mhm.
They've done it.
Usually
They've
at
probably done
dusk.
it definitely, and they've done it probably in the last. Well, I guess the Deschler meeting was last Monday. They've probably done it 5 times since then.
Friend used to do it.
Bruning does it right now.
Mhm. They've got the equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They would probably contract it out to come do it. One
I'm
of
sure
the
they
other
would,
towns that
well,
has
because
the equipment.
they just have to pay. I think they're just paying his rate, his hourly rate. I think is all it is, and I think he's been spraying an hour a night in Deschler.
Well, I'd be in favor of that.
Yeah.
We could contact somebody.
Jim, would you wanna do that, see if,
I can contact the Hebron guy if you want to find it, or I could, Lance in our office knows everything about pruning. I could find out.
See if we can,
Try that.
and
Yeah.
get the cost of the equipment and
You have.
see if we can get them over here.
And if it's, I mean,
No,
realistically, we could do it, if it was reasonable, we could do a special meeting if we had to.
Mhm.
just to get it
Yeah,
going.
would that have to wait for this?
No, we
to
could
be
do it.
approved?
Well, we need to take care of it.
now.
We need
Yeah, I
to
think we
take
could do
care
a
of it.
special meeting
Yeah.
if we found somebody to do
Yeah,
it.
if we're gonna do it, let's
Just
just
get it done.
as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
On one street and down
I
the
do
other.
down
know
every
that
street.
the
You
things
go
that
every
you
street
can
up and
buy
down
and
and
use in
up and
your
down.
yard.
Even to the alley where I
Because I would
counted
use
an
I don't know
alley.
if they, yeah, if there's a house there, they will, and then they'll go down in the
Well,
park
but have
and
you
all
used that
around.
spray that you use with your garden hose and go out at night and you get it, it's,
I just ordered
Cutter.
a gallon and a half of clean cream.
It's,
this is a, when is that, Tammy? It's a fogger,
No, it's a spray on.
a spray on.
it's
But
supposed to
I
inhibit
find that helps
ability
just
to
a whole bit.
reproduce.
Well, you're gonna find out.
I'll call people tomorrow.
Kill the
Okay.
All right,
estrogen
yeah.
and it cuts
We're
the
gonna do it, let's
reproduction
do
down.
it.
Well, you have to do it now, we don't do any.
They are bad.
Yeah, I agree. My daughter's allergic to it, so I
But
know.
everybody.
She's got one on
And
her
everybody's got that
I-
problem.
I
These
throw
roads
up.
in the
It's
countries,
bad all over right now.
Yeah.
Terrible.
up to Dad's, it's the same way,
Yeah.
ditches are all full of water, you can't even walk outside.
Well,
They out there
and
at the farm.
maybe he should go
And
look
then
at
that,
extension
standing in my
offices.
ditch,
That was-
you know, I can't even go outside.
Future, you just keep looking at, so when I was looking into the,
Uh-huh.
Health and Human Services.
And I've been telling them about it for 3 years.
EPA,
Yeah.
I'm qualified for
That's why that ditch
5
needs fixed.
years for an allotment for continuous spray.
Because Scott and
You
Patty
think
that
that
did
had
the
to do
original
with
hit,
that when the
so let
Western
them
Rail
know.
was out, the reason we got that grant? Or everybody got some money.
Maybe it's not that expensive, I mean, if we're just paying his hourly
Do you remember how
rate
much
or-
money that was, Donna, when we got that? It wasn't a lot.
Well, you'll have to
No,
pay
was
for
it?
the chemicals
The
plus
chemical and
the
that,
hourly
it
rate.
wouldn't be, can't
You
amount
gotta
to
pay
too
no matter
much.
what, it don't matter. It needs
Yeah.
done though.
Okay, well, let's go on and do the claims treasurer's report in minutes.
I dumped a bleach and 7 in the ditch finally yesterday. Knocked everything down.
Stuff we need to get done. That was, yeah. But we also have to get a little bit of that, yeah, Hey, Tammy, and in the receipts, I want to kind of point out, you see this highway allocation that we get. We do get funding, but what we get in a year's time, we have to match that 1/4, or you don't get it. And technically, and this will pay for streetlights, as far as streetlights, and that's probably where the spring would come out of this too. But typically, we always would take our Norse that we get back from Norris on our, you see them on our electric bills. And that's what uses to match, usually one of those Norris payments. But since you're new to that, I tell you that. I think a lot of those towns do that, by the way. Donna, how many of your towns do that? A lot of them?
They'll use tax money for the north.
Morris
We just
usually.
have to match 25%.
Yeah, so I mean, that can add up, make sure that you can always match it, because you couldn't afford to lose it.
I move with approve the claims treasurer's report minutes.
I'll second that. Tammy?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes,
Yeah, and they are approved, the claims treasurer's report minutes, and I don't believe there's anything else, so I would entertain for a
I
motion.
move we adjourn.
You get those, Tammy? Jeremy?
Yes.
Jim?
yes.
Yes, meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that'd be great. And I can let them know
That's pretty
if
good
we
ice
have
cream.
to- have a special meeting, we'll just do it.
I think so, and that'll be the only item.
Yes.
We don't have to do anything else.
You know, as soon as you touch the water, they start.
Yeah, well, mine was the same way, you know, if you went down further, where I was trying to get out that day.
Look, how you doing? All right.
Up there by the tree, where you come halfway.
But where it wasn't raining was down here across the road, that's the wall. That's where my well,
I'm getting letters, I'm getting all this.
probably that water.
I'm trying to be difficult.
Because when I see
All we gotta do is be reasonable.
the water goes down the side of the street.
I can spend a budget on my feet.
But some take a vacation.
You got most of it on video. Donate?